Well, I caught you working.
Yep. Sitting down on the job.
Sitting down, yeah, exactly. Sitting down on the job. You're not on a creeper with your hands draped over the exhaust?
No.
No. So we got pretty much the inside all glass. This is the mean green machine, Alan's car. So pretty much glassed in. We've had to move the firewall back because we're following the series to make it fit a Ford motor, which I mean, we do a lot of Ford motors and different motors, but generally this just gets a Chevy motor and everything fits. So you're bonding the panel in here.
Yep.
That gives us plenty of room for the exhaust to go in.
Yep. I'll bond it here, then I'll get inside and I'll lay fiberglass on the inside.
Around.
Yeah, wrap it around it. Yeah.
Originally had I mean, the way something like this comes together, you think about 6 or 7 or 8 different ways to do it, and then finally it evolves into the into what it is. But this is going to look good. It's going to look clean. It's hot rodding. Hot rodding is clean and simple. The cleaner and the simpler, the better. I like it that way.
Yep.
So this is our favorite material, Polybond. We use that a lot. It's kind of a bonding material. It's almost
good stout stuff.
Almost like a vet panel adhesive, something like that.
Yeah.
Except we buy it in a 5-gallon pail.
A lot stouter than Bondo.
Yeah, it's got. I actually put 2 pieces together, end to end, 2 pieces of fiberglass one time to see how strong it was. Bonded it and gave it about a 1/8 inch, so it's not squeezing it all out. When I broke that fiberglass apart, it actually pulled fiberglass apart. It didn't just snap off. Yeah. So moving ahead, lob it in a little bit, and the mean green machine. Next thing is get that steering box in.
Yeah.
Put the motor back, and we need headers on here before we can run.
Yeah, before we run the steering.
Before we run the steering, though.
Yeah.
So there we go. Progress on Alan's car. Okay, so we got the action shot going on. Daryl welding away. This is the insanity. We talked about boxing the front of the frame rails. That's gonna make it look a lot cleaner. Roll it around the front of it. So let's get him finished welding and we'll see what he's up to.
It's on the back side.
You got the nuts welded on these? Spreader bars done?
Spreader bar's done. I got to weld it, but it's cut and ready to go.
Tim's already called me this morning. He likes your idea, so I guess you shared the idea of different ways to do the rear fenders.
All the rear fenders.
He wants them mounted, not on the differential, but frame mounted or however.
Well, it's still going to be a floating fender, but it's not going to be bolted to the body.
Okay.
Yeah.
And removable.
And removable. Yep.
While Daryl's welding in the background, it looks like he's got the front spreader bar mocked up. And again, we decided to go ahead and bolt this from the inside rather than from the outside through. It'll be a cleaner look on the outside, and he's welded a couple nuts into the panels there. You can kind of see the holes right in here. So we've got nuts welded up in there. And it's the classic, don't touch it, it's hot.
It's very hot.
I'm working on my projects. I really, if you followed it yesterday's DIY, I finished the day by going over to my favorite store, Harbor Freight, and I really wanted to buy that Icon cap and die set for $130 something. And they have this Pittsburgh one. The other one was like a 41 pieces and 40 pieces. This was $22. So I asked the salesperson over there, I said, what is the difference between a lifetime warranty and a lifetime guarantee, which is what it said on the other one? I said, well, what does that mean? He said, well, if you ever break one, just bring it back, we'll give you another one. I said, so if I break this one right here, I bring it back and you give me another one of those out of this set? Yeah. And if I break the same one out of this other set for $130, you'll give me the same one? Yeah. Why would I buy the $130 set when I can get the $22 set? Well, it's a better set. Okay. I really did want to buy the Icon set, but I didn't. And I wasn't sure if I had the right drill, since my stuff is like not everywhere it's supposed to be, so I bought an extra one. Because if I break that tap, for me to run to town, and when you live in the country, running to town actually means something. to run to town to go get another tap. By the time I come back, you know, whether it's warranted or not, it costs me more than that. Yeah, plus I get the right drill bit. So now I got an extra one. I'm gonna stock my box up and actually start working again, seeing how I'm the DIY foreman. And in this case, I'm just the working foreman. All right, didn't take the time to turn the background noise off, but Eddie just had a good idea walking by. So that polybond stays wet for what? Depending on the weather. It's a pretty nice day today, cool.
Oh, an hour.
So you have,
yeah.
well, workable wet for 10 minutes, 15 minutes.
Yeah, somewhere in there.
So now you can go ahead and lay fiberglass on top of that.
Yeah, see, on the edges here.
Kind of ooshed in on the corners.
So see, I'll put a fiberglass along there on the corners. That way it don't move.
So that'll roll right into that polybond. But to hold them panels from pushing out when he rolls, took a little bit of Bondo. And Bondo dries quick.
That's going to be filled anyway, and I've already ground all that in there before I put it all together.
Yep, good to grind.
Yeah.
On cars like this, there's a mold release on the mold, and some of it stays on the part. So once you get that off, it's,
You got to grind.
your paint will come off or your stuff will come off. So anyway, you use Bondo for glue.
Yeah, saves a lot of time.
Saves a lot of, yeah, you keep on going.
Because we want to fill them cracks anyway, so we know.
You don't know how hard it was to get these three guys to be in this room and be with me behind a camera. I appreciate that. Probably none of them really like to do video. But what we've been doing, we've been showing our customers what we've been doing. Families, the spirit, friends, and family. So we're in the situation room. I brought the A-team in.
Yeah, we like each other. Yeah, once in a while. Yeah.
So I got here's the situation. Turn around behind you. We got Jim, the big block blown. Jim and the black blown small block T. We got Bill. It's a T. Turn. There's Bill's T. I thought we were waiting on tires, but we're not. We're going to get this baby fired up. Stay tuned tomorrow and we'll be working on this. We got Kurt. It's a turnkey, no motor, but we do it gets a Mullins trail. Here we have Kurt and a candy apple red T. We got Robin, the Midas Touch. Has given us a hand, hold the top up for the Midas Touch. There's Robin and the Midas Touch. We got Joe, is Pro Street 34. There's Joe's Pro Street 34. Waiting on a little bit of air conditioning to come, and Eddie can knock some of the stuff off on this one. It's pretty close. We got Daniel, that's Sedan. Here we have Daniel and his Sedan, patiently waiting on paint. Ed is next going to paint this. He's going to take a break from bodies next week. We got Arnie, that the Metal Flake 32. We have Arnie and the sparkly 32.5 window. We got Timothy.
I'm working on Tim.
Insanity. There we go, and you are. It's Tim and Insanity. We got Mike, and you just got done with Mike's. They're working on Mike's interior. Here's a upholstery guy here. It don't have a name, so if you're watching this video, these folks are all watching these videos. I'd like to have a name for your car, otherwise we're going to name your car. Mm-hmm. So Alan, you're working on Alan, the Mean Green Machine, so that's going on. Here we have the Mean Green Machine. We got Nick, which is a Milner clone. Nick and the Milner clone patiently waiting on the 327 to get built. We have Mike. I'm working on Mike over there. And if anybody, by the way, has a good best way to tap aluminum, I'm all ears. So anyway, I'm tapping aluminum on his hood right
carefully.
And had plenty of
Yeah.
oil.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. So we got Mike's. There's Mike's Phantom Pete. Made a little progress on the hood today. Make a little bit more tomorrow. And we've got Brian. Brian is the newest. That's a blown Hemi. He's having it made. That's the only current turnkey on here. And bottom line is, I think I showed you all that letter we got about 6-8 months ago. The guy from New York that was reaming me, saying he is not going to beg anybody to take his money, and he was all ticked off because we wouldn't take a deposit, we wouldn't give him a turnkey, because we can't. We got to finish these. So how are we going to get these done? Step one, these are all purchase orders. Don't mess them up.
I haven't.
Josh has got, so we're working on purchase orders. Another step, something we're going to do. This is like Nick. We're gonna put a book with all the cars, which we'd already talked about that, what we're doing. We'll keep on top of that. So tell me, how are we gonna get these done? Give me some clues.
Cloning machine.
Yeah.
Phoning is no.
Slowly but surely.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's just getting the vendors to get our parts to us.
And that's the biggest major
Biggest
malfunction.
thing, you know. If I have a truckload of parts, I'll continue working until I run out of parts. You
So
know?
here's what I'm thinking. We do have the parts issue, and we have a time frame issue. I tried hiring lots of people, that didn't work. We got the A team here.
You get what you pay for.
Oh, we paid. Pay wasn't the issue. It's like, tell me you can do it, and then what do we get? Oh my gosh, we go backwards. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna pick the cars. Bill, if you're listening, we need them wheels. That red car, that thing is so close to just knocking out the door. We got the Midas touch. Robin is loving to see his car. We're gonna get working on it as a team, but we'll get the parts. Right now we're working on
Wheels.
Insanity.
Yeah, well,
So
yeah.
you're working on Insanity. We came together. We'll get it to a closing point. You're working on the Mean Green machine. We'll get it to a mock-up point. Ed's not here, but we got to get the paint. So I need to schedule on my side. That's on me. On Josh's side, good news. We found the remote oil filter. It wasn't lost. No, for Insanity.
Yeah, for Insanity,
Where is
yeah.
it? Where was it? It got here months ago and it wasn't put where it needed to be. So we need to organize like that. I'm going to put a time frame schedule. We can't do 100 hours in 20 hours. And if you do, it looks like it. And that's not what we
Yeah,
do.
that's true.
You guys aren't here for the money, although you wouldn't be here if you didn't get a paycheck probably. But no, we build cars and we like to do what we do. And we don't
Yeah.
just build average cars. We build some of the best.
Well, they're, how I should say, custom. Every single one of them is custom.
Yeah.
Even a T-bucket's custom.
Our cars have a personality. Our
Yeah.
cars have names. These aren't an Elon Musk built with a robot. This isn't Japan in the 80s when we were building
Yeah.
crap in
Assembly
America,
line, just want same
building
thing.
everything the
A
same.
T-bucket, 70% of it is exactly the same thing. You know, putting it together, it just lays out. But when you start adding stereos and you start adding speakers and you start adding this and you start adding the Hemi and you start adding stretching stuff and it's just, it gets to where it's not.
It's the same, but it's not.
Okay, so speaking of that though, we're not gonna make this meeting long. Y'all know we're gonna build a T-bucket. It's my last hurrah. Actually, in a couple weeks, I'm going up. You could say I have a speaking engagement. I'm going to Barron County. We're gonna speak to the kids there. We're writing curriculum for the schools. That's only an hour and a half from Evansville, Indiana. I'm going there. I'm meeting with some schools there, meeting with that thing. So since I got the A team here,
Oh.
I need to make sure, pick your color.
I gotta have the camel colors.
Okay, oh, you're first.
I do not like yellow.
Okay, and I've been
Sorry.
I've been studying up. So, Mr. T, here's Mr. T. We're gonna wind up getting him into Indiana. We're gonna get him to Indiana, and he'll wake up and go, whoa. And then, so I love it when a plan comes together.
Pity the fool.
So, I think we have a plan,
Trying to
and
be Willis's little brother.
and so I'm gonna put it on me, but I think I'm gonna go take a picture of every one of those cars that we talked about. I can just drop a picture in after the thing. Every one of these cars, we're gonna do a series. We got the Insanity series going on. We're gonna have the Phantom Pete series going on. Josh has helped me clear all the memory in my phone. People complain about my shaky hands and all that. This is a communication tool for the customers. And I appreciate it. They enjoy seeing their cars. Right now, if you're listening to this, the best way to get my attention is to make a comment on YouTube. I follow that. There's so many places that if you make a message and you think you're talking to me,
Usually a good comment on YouTube.
we make good, bad, I don't care. Actually, it's good for analytics, the more comments that they make. And somebody made a comment, oh, you don't know, it's a oil pump, or the oil filter's upside down on the big block Ford. Okay, I think we had that figured out, but
That was moved out of the way for us.
for us to get the
Yeah,
motor in there,
exactly.
and now you'll be putting the remote
So now I'm gonna put the remote.
on.
Yeah.
So, and somebody else just made a comment about on the one you were working on. Why can't you just move the radiator forward? Well, that's a good idea. Except we're putting a hood on it. So if we were putting a hood, we got to have the hood fit too.
Nothing else
So,
will fit.
so I'm open to all comments. If you like me or you hate me, I'm good at having people. They're pretty.
That's it.
Yeah. People aren't neutral with me. They either really hate me or they like me. So whatever you want to say, I don't really care. So.
It's a love-hate relationship. Everybody with
Most of the
Bob.
time we really hate you.
Yeah, that's right.
Anyway, I told you guys it would be 6 minutes. We're at 7 minutes and 53 seconds. So I'm a minute into your lunch.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, my agent said that ain't gonna work.
So we have a plan. I love it when a plan comes together. So Mr. T, what do you think? We got it happening, huh?
Yeah, got it happening.
Okay. Finally, I've got the hinge part mounted onto the hood. I've got the holes drilled, tapped, countersunk, all the same screws. So now I go ahead and put the second part of the hinge on and get it mounted to the car and get this thing working. You see once the hinge is on, how it swings, the way it attaches. There's a pin that just locks it in, so you can open either side of the hood. Pull a pin, so this will go over on this side over here and attach. Goes up in there, slide the pin over. So we'll get that on and we'll see if we can't get it sort of where it goes and working on the car. So you're adding and subtracting?
Yeah.
We got a Bill car and we got a Joe car. Taking them off and adding them on. So we're down to, when you get down to a list like that, there's not very much left to do. So we need to get them both.
All right.
So Ed just pulled up. We got another one ready. You got to put a little primer on it. This is Jeff, I believe. So Jeff is
Brian,
about
will you
ready to
come
go home.
Grab the back with me. I can't do the back.
So you're gonna take that Pro Street 34 home with you tomorrow, right?
Yes.
We're gonna put air conditioning in the shop here.
That would be amazing.
Well, you went to the house with your air conditioned shop.
I'll
So
come back if you put air.
hey, look around the corner. See that unit over there?
Yeah.
That's fixing to go in the body shop, and we're putting a unit around over there on the outside for this shop.
That's gonna be amazing.
That will be amazing. So there's Jeff.
Yep.
And Corey, I'm sure he's watching. He's always watching. So that's Pro Street 34 is the next one you're taking. Except, I'm gonna work on the hood, get the hood for Daniel's car ready. We'll have it all apart, and then maybe paint that real quick next
That's
week.
what I'm hoping to work on. Yeah.
Next
We're
week.
waiting for those clips
Yeah, we'll get that.
and the rods.
All right, very good.
Next, get it hanging and get it
Okay, so
swinging.
we came and checked on Brian. We left him alone all day.
Good, that
Ed
one's-
just showed up, so we're giving some, not instruction, just
Everything's looking good.
yeah, it's all
Get
looking
the
good.
metal plates.
Put the metal plate in there, so
This.
once we get the hinges on, it doesn't go like that. We'll put a metal plate,
Yeah.
drill and tap it, and then it'll go in that way. It's your first one. I think it's pretty good for your first
It's
one.
looking. Yeah, it's looking nice and even.
Yeah. So good.
All right.
And then you were working on the door, doing some other things. You DIY'd for yourself today. You didn't have me doing nothing.
No, I did this all just by looking at what he did on the car he left here and
Yeah.
just doing it.
Getting outside door handles.
I think so.
Oh, yeah.
Boys are gone, but it looks like Eddie has got it around the corner on this. So the Ford's fitting in the Ford. So the Mean Green machine has got a firewall that fits. We're going to work on getting the steering column in this one next. I think I'm going to put Eddie on Bill's car in the morning. It's insanity. Time to relocate the fuel or the oil. So there we go. That'll be Daryl's job tomorrow. Looks like he's got pretty tightened up in the front here. We've got our spreader bar. Everything's welded, tight, clean on the outside, rolled around the front. Super clean. So we're gonna pull that off, pull the rear one off, and it goes to the chromer. I got some other chrome parts to go too, but start putting on the motor parts now, and to get the brackets made and get all that done. So that's tomorrow's job for Daryl.